All right, everybody. Again, this is Scott Pierce at Listings to Leads, and today we're going to talk about open house marketing before, during, and after the open house. This is appropriate for both listing agents and showing agents. A showing agent is an agent that does not have the listing. They are holding the open house for somebody else. So if it is your listing, do not mark it as a showing agent. So, and this is also good. If you're a broker on this call, a broker or an admin, and you got agents in your office with, not much going on, and you have an office account with us, this is an awesome tool for this. So for them, I should say. So I'm going to log into my agent account, and you're going to see right here in the account homepage, open house lead generation. And if I click this, and this is one of our more powerful. I mean, there's so many powerful, but this is one of our more popular modules. So you'll see write-ups, screenshots right here. I mean, literally everything you need for this, okay? So everything I'm going to cover is right here. And again, I got to that page via the open house lead generation button right on the account homepage. So I'm going to click on listings. If your listings are coming in from a data feed, typically we will get the open house information and pop it in there in the update. Problem is, though, sometimes that can take, a day to get to us, and you want to get that stuff going sooner than later. So click on Edit Listing. Here's where I will set the open house. Right here, open house date time 1. I can click that little calendar, and I can set my open house. So I'll set it for today from 1 p.m. I can use the drop downs to change it, but I think it defaults to 1 and 4 p.m. right there. If this is not your listing and you are borrowing the listing from somebody else, click where it says showing agent, right? Notice it says do not check if this is your listing right there. So once I got my open house set, maybe I set it for a wrong time, I can always delete it and redo it. But once I have it set, I'm going to scroll down and hit save. And that is going to do a number of different things. That's going to activate all the open house tools in the system. And there's a couple of different ways of going at this. One is you'll get an email. Actually, you'll have a couple of emails. But in this one, I'm going to get to this in a second. But I do want to point out, you will get the open house e-flyer and the open house Facebook post. Now, this is meant for your seller, and you can see in this case, I've got this set up to go to my sellers, Ian and Lauren, directly. So they got, as soon as I set the open house, my sellers got the open house Facebook post and e-flyer to share. All right, so they got all that. I didn't have to do anything. For more information about that, join us on our Getting Started webinar, or click the Getting Started. Click on the Getting Started button on the account homepage. How to get that stuff automated. I'm going to forego Craigslist right now. We're actually going to take that out of here. I meant to do that yesterday and I totally forgot to. Open house e-flyer to your blog or website. If you want to post this to a blog like Active Rain, this is one of those things, it's nice to be able to do because it is an event and it does help with SEO. So open house e-flyer, I'm going to post this to Active Rain. And I'm going to pick the 634 pixel width. And I just kind of click through. So this is all stuff we're doing before. Let's log into Active Rain. And I'll go to write a blog. Just like posting a listing to Active Rain. Active Rain has really good SEO. And then I'll just put the address. For any time we do a blog post, I always do the address. Open house, right? Don't put open house I mean, you can put open house Sunday 2 to 4, but don't put the date. Like, don't put March 18th or anything, because we want to make this kind of an evergreen post, which means, if somebody sees this post 2 or 3 months from now, they could still click on it. We could still generate leads, right? But if I put the date, they're going to see the date and then they're not going to do anything. All right. Audience. Oh, not audience. We want that public, but Active Rain topic. I'm going to just say listings. Then I'll scroll back up and I'll publish it. Now, I might not be able to, oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. And then, of course, I get a Truly a Pro advertisement. Now, I could share this on social media if I wanted to, though I'm not going to. So here's my blog post. Right, and the way we titled that is awesome, because this will get picked up by Google very nicely. In fact, I should have put Granite Bay. I'm gonna edit that title real quick. I'm gonna do Granite Bay, California, and I'll update it. All right, that title has already been taken. Let's see if I can do another explanation point mark. There we go. So this is better for SEO, right? Having the full address there. So Granite Bay, California, just like somebody would type it into Google. And now when people see this and they click on any of these things, like the Photos tab, Maps and Local, whatever, they get taken. And that's why music can be a little bit much. But this is a full-on video, so that's fine. But they get taken right to the single property website, right? So it's a great way to pull traffic off of Google via a website like Active Rain that has a lot of SEO. And clients that put stuff on Active Rain actually get a lot of great feedback from them, because Active Rain has a lot of SEO. All right, let's go back to the email. I can email the open house e-flyer to myself so that I can send out to other agents, reverse prospect the MLS, send it also to contacts in my own database. So if I'm using like Wise Agent or Top Producer, and I've got a list of people that are interested in real estate in that area, whether I'm the showing agent or listing agent, then I'd want to send that to everybody. All right. So that's, we want to send that to people in our own database. Don't forget that, because, people always, kind of forget about people in their own database. So make sure you're doing that as well. All right. Post your open house e-flyer to your fan page. Click here. I can copy that link. Go to my fan page. Paste it in. Right? There it is. Up here, I can always remember, watch what I'm doing here. You see how I put that link in there? But I'm going to click over that link, and I'm going to put open house this weekend in Granite Bay, Sunday 2 to 4 p.m. Right, something like that. Just something to make it interesting. And I can put click below for details. All right. And hit post. And again, just like it was from Active Rain, people click on it and they go to our single property website. And I got to make sure to turn the volume off on that thing, especially on a webinar. And that's why we don't like music in virtual tours. But again, this is a full-on video, so it's a little bit different. But maybe I'll turn my volume down a little bit in case I hit that again. All right. So we posted it to our Facebook page. A little bit of information there about it. Right. Not a big fan of just constantly posting listings to Facebook. But like an open house, that is an event, right? So we're trying to make it really more about the event and not so much about the open house. So doing it like this will actually be an okay thing. So putting that on our Facebook page. So that was number 4. Number 5, if I click that, this is for print flyers. Now for the print flyers, I like the top left one. If I click on print, and I'll show you what people do with this, right? So we got our Text 800 IVR service automatically displays in the print flyer. I'm using a vanity URL. I'll show you where I put that. That's right there. And notice that red box automatic. So this is all automated, right? So schedule a showing before everyone else. Be the first to get the details notified of any price steps in the future. Let us know. Call the hotline above or go to the link below. This is all automated, right? I am subscribed to our Text IVR service, right? So they can call that. They can go to my vanity URL below, and again, I'll show you where that was put. And so what people do, and why we have this in here, is people will print this up and they will do a walk by of some homes around that home, all right? And you'll be surprised, you will get leads from this, right? We put this in here based on client feedback. So when you have an open house, let the neighbors know, right? Do a special invite to the neighbors, letting them know that there's an open house coming up this weekend, all right? In fact, let me show you right now. Let's go into the account. So I'm subscribed to the Text 800 IVR, so that will display automatically, right, on my print flyer. And then for the vanity URL, if I click on Edit Listing and I scroll down, and here we go, vanity URL. There's my vanity URL right there. And I'll just make a point here. For vanity URLs, I don't like things like 4705 goldriverlane.com, right? That's kind of a waste in a lot of different ways. A waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of effort. You want something like granitebaysbestlisting.com. And there's a lot of reasons why. You can reuse the URL, so you can get a sign writer made and reuse it over and over and over again. It's great because sellers absolutely love that, right? When you walk into a listing presentation and you let the seller know that you're going to be marketing their house with the URL granitebaysbestlisting.com, they absolutely just love it. And then third, when people in that area keep seeing that sign writer over and over and over again, they get to know it, right? So if you got a sign writer that says granitebaysbestlisting.com, for more information and photos, go to granitebaysbestlisting.com. You can just re-forward that URL to your new single property website for the new listings in Granite Bay. And imagine over a course of a couple of years, right? People are going to be seeing you with that URL, granitebaysbestlisting.com, over and over again. And that works even if you got multiple listings in the same area, right? So I could do Granite Bay's Best Listing, Best Listing in granitebay.com, right? All of that kind of stuff works. So there's 4 or 5 very easy variations on that. So the vanity URL, the IVR, all of it automatically displays on those print flyers. And so, yeah, don't forget to drop off those print flyers to people in and around the home, okay? So now, we've got the open house e-flyer that went to the seller and the Facebook post that went to the seller. This was the e-flyer. The sellers are going to send this out to their friends promoting the open house. The friends see this on email. They see all your links, right? In this case, I got Granite Bay Homes for Sale link going to my IDX. I've got Granite Bay Home Valuations going to my property valuation landing page. So I'm able to generate seller leads and buyer leads from that, right? They're promoting the heck out of me, right? This is, hopefully they'd seen the just listed e-flyer previously, and down the road, they're going to see the pending and the just sold e-flyer. So they're going to see over the course of the listing, somewhere between 3 and 5 e-flyers, all with different things promoting the home differently, right? All my information right there. Again, here's the Facebook post so that the seller can take this right? The seller wouldn't forward this out to their friends. They would just take it and they go to Facebook, and I'll actually go to another page. Let's go to a different page here. I'll go to one of my community pages. Let me find, there we go, Granite Bay Homes. And there you go. That's what it looks like. And they click on it, they land on the single property website. All right. Good stuff there. All right. So yeah, get that. Make sure all of that stuff is going out to the seller, that you're getting it out there via the email that you get, right? So everything you need, oh, let me go back here. So everything you need is right here in this email. No, so that's all before the open house. So again, the seller has it on Facebook and email. You get it on your Facebook page. You send it out to people in your database. Maybe you reverse prospect the MLS. You can send it to other agents to let them know you got an open house. You got perhaps on your blog, right? You've got it, the print flyer, and you've invited people around the home to your open house. One other thing, and this is in the account, the listing landing page. When I've got an open house and I click on the listing landing page, you see how it says open house in Granite Bay? That's also a great Facebook ad, even as the showing agent, right? And of course, if you're the showing agent, make sure, right, you're going to ask the agent whose house you're opening, do you mind? Let me rephrase that, because I did this a lot as an agent. When I was a real estate agent, I didn't have a new listing, or you don't want to hold the same listing open more than like 2 or 3 times, right? It gets kind of old. So when I didn't have a new listing to hold open, and I would go ask another agent, I would always, of course, ask, hey, do you mind if I hold your listing over there open this weekend and market it, right? Can I market that listing and hold it open this Sunday? And I never got turned down, or I never had an agent say no to that. So I'm going to go put this on Facebook as an ad, right? For those of you on our Tuesday calls, this is Facebook Advertising 101. Hit the down arrow, create ad. Send people to your website. Drop that link in there. And I might do 47, just like in Facebook 101, 4705 Gold River Lane, Granite Bay, open house. Right here, I'm going to put the zip code 95746. And I can also put another zip code right nearby, 95747. So I'll include people in Roseville. Age, I only want people, right? Not a lot of people in this area, right? Buying homes in that area are really under the mid 20s, right? So my potential reach is 60,000. To me, that's kind of the top end of what we want. No need to worry about any of the demographics in this section. And since my open house is, well, this open house is today, but let's assume your open house is on Saturday. I would want to, or let's say it's on Sunday. That's more typical. So I may say start this on Friday. Let's say Thursday. Start on Thursday and run it to Sunday, right, the 22nd. And my open house is till 4 o'clock. So let's stop the ad at 4 p.m. So I'm going to, right, in a normal ad, right, we never do this, right? But for an open house, there's really no point in having that open house ad run after the open house. All right, so I'm going to spend $15 on essentially 3 days of advertising. 4705 Gold River Lane open house. And in the last section here, I can either use my community page or my regular page. Now it's going to say just listed in this case, But just change just listed to open house. And that will change down here. Now I might even want to add, I could add get the open house dates and times and current information. Right, and you got to kind of play with it a little bit because Facebook only gives you so much room. So maybe I do ... but it gets the point across, right? Get the open house dates and times, current price, photos, details, school information, open house Granite Bay. Again, this is Facebook 101 that we go over every Tuesday. Learn more. And I've actually got screenshots of this, not the open house in particular, but just listed. It's the same thing. Show advanced options. I'm going to put, right, whatever it is about whatever the wow factor is, right? And we talk about this in the Tuesday webinars, right? So whatever the kind of the hook is on this property. So I'll just say Granite Bay School District home on large lot, right? Whatever it kind of is on that, all right? Schedule. Oh yeah, okay. So Pete has an idea. So Pete says use the verbiage from the open house flyer. Yeah, well, that's not a bad idea. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to this. Pete, are you talking about that print flyer? So Pete, I think what Pete's talking about, and Ruben, I'll get to your point here in a minute as well. So let's take up that print flyer. And so I think Pete was saying, I wouldn't want to do this up below. That wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, I could do that. If I could take that over to Facebook. I think either one would work, right? Get the open house date, times, current price information, and more. So I could leave it like that. Pete is saying, go ahead and take that information from the print flyer, right? Now, see where it says yellow, then that means you got to, it's too much. So I might go schedule a showing before everyone else. The only thing is, I do want the open house information in there, right? So yeah, I mean, you can, and I think everyone kind of gets the idea. You can put whatever you want in here, but I think you do want to make sure you got open house. So let me just put open house, and I know we got it on the bottom, but I kind of like to have that on the top as well. So I'll leave it like that for now. I got my Learn More button. Again, under Advanced Options, I got this. I'm also going to go to my listing landing page. And again, just like we talk about on the Tuesday webinars, if I'm subscribed to the text IVR service, and it'll display here, right? Text 10001 to 25678. Anybody wants to try that? I'm going to put this into the GoToMeeting control panel so you can try that out. Oh, and I'm going to go back to Facebook. There we go. And I'm going to drop that into here and that will display right here in a few seconds. Facebook update. There we go. Because Facebook, people get leads when they put this on Facebook. And so here's my ad, right? So here's the ad going to my listing landing page with the open house information on it. Just hit place order. And when people land on this, they're going to put in their name, email, phone number if it's required. All right, I'm going to try to hit that mute button ASAP. Oh, good. I've already got it muted. Now, I just got a text sent to me, right? Because all the listing landing pages send out a text notification for leads. I got an email letting me know I got the lead. And then that lead will also appear in my leads tab. All right. Yeah. And so, yeah, Pete, that's exactly right. So this is that advanced section there where it says news feed link description, right? That is really key because you see here, it just gives you a little bit more information, another place to put some more color around that listing, right? And again, most people use that, the people that get the most out of it, whatever that hook is, right? A remodeled kitchen, first floor master bedroom, whatever, right? Not every house has something, something to write home about necessarily, but you got to figure out what it is, right? There's always something about a home that's going to attract that perfect buyer. So what is it about that home that would attract the perfect buyer, right? Is it a low price, right? Maybe it's, $120 per square foot, and that's half the average or 25% lower than average for that area, right? Maybe it's a, perfect home for first-time buyer in a neighborhood that is typically more, upscale, or, whatever. But again, every home has that. So put that, and then go ahead and copy and paste in the text information from the listing landing page if you're subscribed to that, and then just hit place order. All right. So now we got an open house ad that will generate leads, which is tremendous. And then back on the email, lead generation feedback form, and then it says large format feedback form. So let me see what this one is. I know what it is. If you're using MLS photos or small photos, this is your open house feedback form to use on a tablet, right? Mobile responsive and everything. If you got large photos in the virtual tour, you get the full screen version of that same thing, right? So again, mobile responsive, looks great. You have this on your tablet. It works on a laptop. There's actually a print version as well. I'm always surprised at how many people use these on laptops and the print flyer. And I'll show you the print flyer in a second. But it's kind of cool because people, right, on an iPad, they're just going to tap on it. They kind of usually they very thing yes. And of course, you're going to say, welcome to the open house today. And the seller is asking that everybody please sign in. And of course, they go, okay. They don't want to disappoint you. If they're just a neighbor doing research, they'll check that. And you got someone to talk to about what they're doing, right? They own a home. Would they like updates about new home listings in the neighborhood and home sales in the neighborhood? If they are working with another real estate agent or broker, you've got that. And then you've got enter. Someone said, do you have to be connected to Wi-Fi for this page to work? Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure most places have Wi-Fi nowadays. I don't know, at least most places around here do. Worst case scenario, you got your iPhone. Well, if your iPhone, yeah, if you have your smartphone, and let me show you the print version. If you don't have a tablet, you don't have a laptop, you don't have anything else, what I would do is I'd print off, right, not 3 or 4, what am I saying? Like, whatever, 10, 20 copies of this, whatever you think is appropriate, and then people can just fill it out. And that's kind of nice as well because, in that way, instead of having, I still see this, oh my God, right? I mean, my wife loves going to open houses and we walk in and I see people with like a notepad, right? Like I'm supposed to put my name, I'm number, 3 on a list. And here's what's funny. The first time someone doesn't put it down their email address, nobody below them puts down an email address, right? Have you ever noticed that? Right. So the first time someone doesn't put down a phone number or doesn't put down an email address, nobody else does. Because what they do is they see, oh, that person didn't put down their email. Why am I going to do it? So if you're going to do the print version, or go the print route, right, where they write it down, this is actually really nice because it's just a little bit more kind of formal and invitational looking. And, it's all about them. Right? Versus you having a notepad laying there that you expect people to sign in on. All right. What makes a high resolution photo or large photo? That it is at 1900 pixels or wider, right? And so it's kind of nice because then you get both the large format listing landing page, you get the full screen open house feedback form, right? And you don't get either one of those if you don't have a large photo in the virtual tour section. All right. What I normally recommend, click on edit listing, edit images, delete all your MLS photos, upload your nice big photos that you've got, if you've got them, and then just click copy images to virtual tour. And that will copy everything over. And now we just got nice photos, right? Unless you're selling, unless you're just selling whatever. But if I'm going to take the time and effort to do a listing, I'm going to at least have good photos, right? Why would you take, having a listing, why don't you, compute out the number of hours you spend on a listing, even one that sells in a normal days on market, and calculate how much time you spent and what that would equate to in dollars. And then think about the fact that images are vitally important in the marketing of that home. And if you're not going to take 1 or 2 minutes to delete those MLS photos and upload your large format photos, I just don't know I don't really know how to, respond to that, right? So having your large photos, I think, is critical in online marketing. If anybody wants to argue that, I'd love to hear your reasoning, right? Why people love MLS compressed photos. So, one thing I forgot to mention. When somebody fills this out, what they get, and they hit enter, they get sent to them the open house e-flyer. So let me show you. So as soon as I hit send, I'm going to get sent, right, as a person filling it out. And you should try it once. Try it so you can see how it works. They're going to get sent this. And why is mine white and blue? Let me try another one. I think I must have changed my colors at some point. Let me try this one here. Right? So they're going to get this, but of course this will have white text. So they're going to get the open house e-flyer sent to them, all your links, right? They won't get any of the text here, but they'll get the open house e-flyer sent to them. And these things actually generate leads after the open house as well as all the other stuff, because the person, after they leave the open house, right, and they get this to you, they're going to see it, typically, if they're like most of us, they're going to see it on their laptop, right, or their work computer. They're going to see it on their tablet. They're going to see it on their smartphone. It works great on all devices. And then they start clicking these links, right? Maybe they're a homeowner in the area, right? So they see the home valuation link. Maybe they're a buyer and they're not yet working with an agent. So they click on that link and they go into your website and save a search. So these e-flyers that people get after they fill out the feedback form are tremendous. And both versions do that. And even if you're using the print version, I'd probably take, that night after the open house and you're watching, Downton Abbey or whatever it is that you're watching, although that's now season is over, unfortunately, for those of you who are watching Downton Abbey. But I would take all these people and I would add them via the form so that they are in the system. All right. Yes, I am doing an open house on Christmas. I was going to make a comment or a joke, but I guess I won't. Would really? That's all. I would hope it would be in good taste. But yeah, I am doing an open house on Christmas. I figure while you guys are all celebrating the holiday, I'll be the only guy out there working. Jason, yeah. Jason says, so sad it is over. Doug, I know you're kidding me. I know. So, any questions on this? Any questions on the open house marketing and lead generation? It'll work. It'll generate leads before the open house. It's going to generate leads during the open house. It's going to generate leads after the open house. I mean, this thing just generates leads like crazy. Let me make a couple of points. If you are a showing agent, you would not be able to send, of course, the listing e-flyers to the sellers, right? So we're not going to send those listing e-flyers to the seller. So you're going to have to either add the listing. I would add it via create new listing, or you could add it via grab, right? If it's on Trulia, add it via grab. And then once it's in there, go and swap out the photos, even if it's only one photo, right? So what I would do is go by, take a picture of the front of the house, right? Now imagine you're going to spend probably 4 hours between everything you do. I mean, even just on that Sunday, right? It's 2 hours open, it's a half hour afterwards, right? It's probably an hour getting ready and getting over there. So you're going to spend 4 hours on this. Take that extra minute, even if you grab the listing, go into edit images and go by the front of that house, take an image, right? Take a picture of the front of that house, a nice picture, right? And put that as the first picture in edit listing. And then also put it in the virtual tour section so that you get those large format listing landing page and the large format open house feedback form. All right. All right. Jason says he missed the last 2 days to unforeseen circumstances. Not sure what that means, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with Downton Abbey. Right here are those recorded webinars, right? We keep recent recordings of these 2 webinars here. And I just mentioned that TV show again because Jason said that he missed it. He was missing it or sad that it's over. All right. Any other questions? All right. WordPress. So Ruben's asking about WordPress. Yeah, Active Rain does allow you to post, right, whatever you want. I've never had any problems with people on Active Rain. Realtown's the same way. WordPress, we give you a WordPress website, everybody. And so if you go to blog, and we auto post to it, all right? So we do this because if you start posting a bunch of stuff if you start posting a bunch of these listing templates to a non-hosted, meaning it's a free WordPress website that they host, you're going to get it deactivated. I mean, you can email them back and say, hey, you know what, I'm sorry, won't do that again. And they'll give you your blog back. So Ruben, you can just email them and you'll get your blog back, but you can't be posting this stuff to a WordPress blog that they host, right? That's why we give you your own. Now, if you're the one that hosts that WordPress blog, right, it's like on your servers. And if you don't know, then you probably don't, right? You would know if you host your own WordPress blog. If you're not sure, talk to the person that runs it for you. But if you host it, let's say it's like a Diverse Solutions website or IDX Broker website, and you want to, then you're hosting it, right? You're paying money for the hosting of that. But if it's a free WordPress website, right, you can get your WordPress account suspended. You'll get it back, but you're gonna have to just email them and go through whatever that is. All right. And as far as Active Rain and Twitter and all that, you got to ask them about that. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't really know about that. All right. Any other questions? Oh, I'm going to go back to the listings page. Any other questions about this? You see the pre-marketing of it, right? The e-flyers, the social media posts, the social media ads out to my seller sphere of influence. If I'm the listing agent, I get to do that. If not, then that part I'd focus on my my CRM, my contacts in my CRM, right? Maybe reverse prospect the MLS to send it to other agents that have buyers that may fit it. Excuse me. I got the print flyers. If I'm doing a vanity URL, I know where to put that at the bottom of edit listing, right? I know to use what I call a farm-based vanity URL. If I'm subscribed to our text IVR service, that will automatically display on the print flyer. So that's a great, great tool to have. So I'm going to drop off those print flyers before the open house. And you can even do that. Don't worry about having to do it just before the open house, right? If it's Friday afternoon and you got nothing going, right? Fridays are usually kind of slow. I found when I was an agent, Friday afternoons. Do it then, right? Do it a couple of days ahead of the open house. No, there's no harm in that at all. So yeah. So someone says, are you going to cover the listing presentation or is that another webinar? I am not going to cover the listing presentation, but I will cover what I would do and what I know. And in fact, it was awesome because for those of you that were on the Shannon Pyatt webinar, and if you log out and log into your account, on the pop-up is a link to the Shannon Pyatt webinar. In fact, let me just do that. Let me log out. I'm going to log back in. So right here, view recorded webinar. If you click on that, and if you scroll down, I give you kind of like a, little, whatever you want to call that, like a table of contents almost. At 40 minutes and 40 seconds, right? He goes on about the listing presentation. When he told me what he does, it was exactly what I would do and what I've taught on before. So if I go to 40 minutes, I'm not going to play it for you right now.
Hey, but also talk about the listing presentation.
So if you go right to 40 minutes, 40 seconds, but I'll tell you right now what he does. So when he has a listing presentation, he actually, and this is actually, I'm like, really? Wow. So he has a listing presentation. He asked the seller to send a couple of photos of the property. Okay. I can't see myself doing that. What I would do is I would go by and take a photograph of the front of the house and a couple of area photos. The area photos I would save on my desktop in a folder, like, Shelburne area photos. And that way, every time I have a listing presentation in Shelburne, I would just use those same area photos. But I would take one photo of the front of the house I've got a listing presentation for next week or Friday or whenever. And I'd go to create new listing. I would click on for listing presentation, add that listing, right? For price, I put TBD. Right, just add, right? Here, if you want to, just put awesome or something. Save and add photos. Add those photos, right? Add the one photo that you took of the front of the house. Add a couple of other photos of the area. And now you've got a listing in your account. Now, because you marked listing presentation, we're not going to create a YouTube video. We're not going to auto post it to your WordPress blog. We're not going to send out the e-flyers, right? We're not going to do any of that stuff because, you're not marketing it yet. Let me show you here. If I go down, there we go, LP. That's for a listing presentation. So I've got all the tools now. But what he does, and what I've been teaching for a long time, there's a checklist right here. So if I click on the property address, and then I click on generate PDF, this is a printable checklist. In fact, we're actually getting ready to go live probably by next week or the week after with a new one that'll kind of format it a little bit more. But he lays this checklist down for them to look at, right? I mean, come on, 3 pages of stuff. And the sellers just look at them like, holy cow. Depending on the nature of the conversation and how it's going, he'll actually show them the tools, right? I've got everything ready to go. All I need is all I need is to sign this listing agreement I got here, and this is ready to market, right? That's your logo, of course, from your account, right? All your information, right? But I've got all the tools ready to go. And then he has a sign writer. And because he's subscribed to our text and IVR service, he's got the sign writer that says, text 10001 to 25678, and the seller does it, and they see it come up on their smartphone, and it's all mobile responsive and everything, and he kills it on every listing presentation he goes on. All right. That is what I would do. It's right there. In fact, I can go ahead and just put that link. Let me find that link. I'll put this link into the GoToWebinar control panel. So V. DeFranzo, does that answer your question there? Is this Michael or is this somebody else? Okay, yeah, so, and you can see what he does at 40 minutes and 40 seconds here. Again, I'm not really that, I don't got the chutzpah, or however you say that word, to ask a seller to send me photos. He does. So listen to what he does, And, and that's the cool thing. Everyone's got a little bit of a different style to how they do things. So, some people got the, wherewithal to ask that and get it and have people get it, do it, right? Send it to them. I myself, like I said, I guess I'm more meek and humble. I'm just going to go out, take a photograph of the front of the house, have a couple of area photos probably already on my desktop that I can then use to put that listing into my account marked as listing presentation. But when you can show a seller that you are ready to roll with the marketing of their home and all these in this checklist, I'm telling you, I don't care. I don't care what other agent comes in and what they're using to market the home. You're going to just dominate them, right? You're just going to dominate them. You can get a photo off Google Earth. Yeah, I'm sure in some areas that totally works. Yeah, and that's going to be, again, Jason, that's a good point. In different areas, again, different agents are going to do different things. But the goal is, the point of it is putting that listing into the account and mark it as LP, listing presentation, so that A, you get the checklist via the address, and B, that you got the actual tools that you may end up showing them. But more importantly, right, and maybe you don't have a sign writer built yet. Maybe you don't got your sign writers built. You subscribe to the IVR service today, and you got a listing presentation tomorrow. So I don't have time to get sign writers made. Just have them. Just say, all right, and now text the extension to the 25678 number, and they'll, 2-3 seconds later, right? They sent the text via the phone. 2 or 3 seconds later, it comes back. Again, mobile optimized, right? It's all mobile responsive. Way to go. Perfect. Boom. And then here's the other cool thing. Then you get the lead on your phone. In fact, this might be kind of cool. I should ask Shannon about this. All right. So check this out. Hear me out on this one. So you have them text the number. And I'm sure Shannon is doing this. And I'm sure other people are already doing this. I'm just late to the party here. So they text the extension to the number. And then you're sitting there with your phone. So then you get the text comes over. You call them up. And then you say on the phone, you just write, because their phone number comes through on the text notification you get. So you just tap their number, all of a sudden you're calling them while you're standing there, and you just kind of look at them while you're talking to them over the telephone. You just say, hey, are we ready to go? Have I shown you that I can get your home marketed and sold? Right? Something like that. That would be hilarious. Talk about showmanship. I'm gonna have to like roll that by Shannon and see what he says. And what do you guys think about that? Right? What do people on this call think about that? It's a little bit of showmanship, right? You got to kind of have, you don't want to be nervous and stuttering when you do that, because it's not going to work. But man, that would be hilarious. I think the seller would actually just fall apart. That would be funny in a very good way, right? Because what do we want to do in a listing presentation, right? We want to stand out, right? Hopefully we're going to price the home right. Hopefully we're going to, show up on time with a good haircut and professionally dressed, right? But, we want to stand out. And sometimes having a little bit of showmanship, if you can do it, can be kind of cool. So Richard, Pete, what do you guys think about that last idea I just had about the listing presentation? And Ruben, what do you, Ruben? I don't know. I've dealt with you, Ruben, for a while. You seem like the kind of guy that might try that. So if you think that was a great idea, let me know. A lot of people on this call, so yeah, give me a. I'd love to see what people think about that. I think that's kind of funny, but again, funny in a good way, not a bad way. Steve, I see Steve Haley on this call. Karen says she loves it. Awesome. Yeah, and Karen, even I mean, I think you're in a pretty high end luxury market. Why not, right? I mean, I was in San Francisco doing everything from 800,000 to $2 million homes, and you know I think that would unless you got someone that you kind of walk in and you get the feeling like they're not too tech savvy and they're going to get confused, like, oh, right, and they start like shaking and drop the phone when you call them, right? So that's going to be something that you're going to want to kind of read your audience, right? Again, showmanship is all about reading your audience. So yeah, don't if you got an old couple and they don't even, you look and they got a BlackBerry, don't even go try it. All right, Ruben says yes, I love it. I'm going to try it on Friday. Awesome. Pete says, confirm your appointment with the seller via email, included the instruction to send a text to. Yeah, Pete, that's awesome, right? So Pete says, let me just copy and paste that in there for everybody. So Pete says, I didn't edit this. I just did a copy and paste. Confirm your appointment with the seller via email and include the instruction to send a text to. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and again, I think that's going to be a style preference, right? You do that ahead of time, right? You do it during, right? Whichever way you want to do it. So again, that's going to be a style thing. There really is no one way, right way of doing it. I think the idea is like, what is appropriate? What works for you in your business? Your style. What is your style for this? And then just kind of fine tune it. But yeah, I just love the idea of sitting there. They text the number, right? They text the extension to 25678. They're looking at the mobile virtual tour, and kind of while they're looking at it, you get the text notification, the lead notification come through. You just tap it. All of a sudden, they're sitting 3 feet away from you, looking at it. All of a sudden, a phone call comes through, and then just look them in the eye while you're talking to them on the telephone, or maybe you just hold the phone kind of in front of you, like I do, right? When I'm kind of talking, walking around, I got the phone, a couple of feet, kind of right chest level, and I'm talking. And you just say, "Are you ready to sign the listing agreement? I can get your home marketed tonight on the internet, ready to go." Boom. Although don't say boom in front of the seller. That's kind of colloquial. But yeah, Pete, awesome idea. Ruben, let me know your feedback if you got it. Ruben, that's 2 days from now. So yeah, get that set up. Let me know if you have any questions on it. Karen, love to get your feedback as well on that. Everybody else that's chiming in, love to get your feedback. Is this a Steve that is the sales manager? So Steve, if you got some agents and you want us to kind of give that or talk about that offline, let me know. We can kind of role play and share some ideas to really kind of fine tune that. Right. But yeah, just, you don't want to walk in being like every other agent. All right, everybody, listen, I have got to run. I got to go. Got another appointment to get to, but I do want to tell you next week will be the FSBO empty nester and the growing families. I will show you right now under landing pages, FSBO. Let me see this real quick. A couple of changes that we're making to the FSBO landing pages, right? They hit next. There's going to be a one address bar here that's going to work the same as our property valuation landing page where, autofills and everything. And then on the next page, they put in their information. We're going to start sending out partial leads as well. So if the FSBOs fill this out, do the address, but don't do the next page, we'll send out partial leads also. So that's going to be a change that will be coming later this week, early next week. On the FSBO side, I don't know why I clicked on listings. I meant to click on landing page dashboard. Let me see if I can get back. There we go. For growing families, growing family right there, those are the landing pages. If I go to our tutorials and type in growing families, you'll see the write-up with screenshots on how to use that landing page. And then property valuation plus and property valuation both will have empty nester landing pages. They're the same thing as a property valuation plus. I'll show you the edit for it. But I mean, this is the same thing as a property valuation plus landing page, right? I mean, it is a property valuation plus landing page. You can see by the URL, it's a property valuation plus. Just got a different image and different text in the edit section. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come out with a tab that is specifically empty nester, so that when you have a property valuation plus landing page, you can have a separate empty nester with this image that's editable, and this text will default even though it'll still be editable, right? But if you want to do it before next week, again, you can just get an image to upload that's appropriate, edit the text so it's more appropriate for empty nester, and save it, and you'll be off and running. Yeah, and so that's why, and thank you so much, for asking about the listing presentation. I hate listing presentations, right? I hate them. I think they're just ridiculous. That's just not, and I should say that's my personal style. That's me personally. I can't see myself sitting there flipping through a presentation. I want action, right? I like action, and so to me, action is showing them a checklist, right? These are action items I'm going to do to market your home, right? It's a checklist, and then showing them that extension so they can see it. And then again, if I feel like the conversation is kind of rolling that way, right? Maybe I've got all of these brought up on my laptop or my iPad ahead of time so that, instead of waiting till I get to the listing presentation to open this up, I just have this open in another tab and I can show them Single Property website. I've got virtual tours, right? And so you don't want to be clicking through your account, while you're in front of somebody. So I would open these all up in a tab, right? Here's a large format virtual tour. I got a full screen virtual tour, right? I got e-flyers that you can pull up and have ready to show them. So, I mean, have all that stuff up ahead of time. And if, you can kind of tell in a conversation if that's going to be appropriate to show them the actual tools themselves. I would say probably 8 times or maybe 7 times out of 10, you won't, right? They don't need to see the Single Property website per se. The only reason you're doing that via the text is, again, it's part of that showmanship to really kind of wow them, right? It's more of the wow factor versus just, Single Property website, virtual tour, right? Most of the times, they're not going to necessarily want to even see that. But if they do, again, if I have it up on my iPad ahead of time, it's there. All right. Anybody else have any questions before we part company today? Thank you, Scott. You are awesome. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that. Put that on our fan page. We love hearing from you all on our fan page. Love hearing from everybody on the fan page. And also, let me just show you real quickly on the fan page. Speaking of the fan page, let me just open up another browser. Listings to leads. On our fan page, of course, I got to go under the open house. I already like this. Jeez, that's a problem when I post up to our fan page. Look at our post, generate seller leads from your listings to leads, virtual tour, Single Property website, e-flyer campaigns, right? Take a look at that post. That's a great post, right? And of course, it's also then in the open house e-flyers, right? So how to get that property valuation landing page into your open house e-flyers, right? Super easy to do. And it's awesome to have that in front of there. All right. So, and again, Karen, Pete, Ruben, others, after your listing presentation, if you can, email me kind of what you did personally on this, and then what the kind of response was from the seller, good or bad. If it's bad, let me know. All right. But if it's good, let me know. So let me know either way. I think it'll be awesome. Right. But again, read your audience, kind of get a feel for, how they are. And, but I think doing that, calling them back right then, you just show them your lead follow-up, right? They're going to kind of that, deer in the headlight look initially, and then they're probably going to laugh, right? And they're going to be impressed, right? And anytime you can make somebody laugh, you're off to a good start, right? Laughter is the best medicine, they always say, right? Get someone to laugh with you and be impressed by what you're doing. You're more than halfway there. All right. All right, everybody. Listen, thanks so much. Awesome webinar today. Again, if you have any questions, just click on contact support. We'll help you out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.